as an Asian, we not only need to prove we are excellent, we have to prove that we are human beings. We are not a learning machine. We are not robotic. We are not like gain the grades just because we can going to the extra tutoring service. So your letters have shown you as a whole person. During the college application, mandatorily, we need one recommendation letter from your guidance counselor. And most of school will ask you for 2 recommendations from your high school teacher. In our school, we usually recommend you to have 1 recommendation letter from your math or science teacher. The other letters comes from either English, social study, or foreign language. Computer science teacher will be good one to write your science recommendation letter, and also research teacher can do that too. Some school give you a chance, say you can submit more than 2 recommendation letters. You can ask someone else like to write your recommendation letter. Who can write it? Your school teacher. I mean, other than the 2 who will give you regular recommendation letters, such as if you work for in a robotic team, your robotic team instructor can write your recommendation letter. Debating coach, or your coach like in sports team, or pastor, music instructor, your boss at the workplace, or your science research mentor. They can also offer your recommendation letter. But some people think the actual recommendation is like the more the better. It's not true, because the college admission office only have very limited time to review one single application. According to my knowledge, they probably spend like less than 20 minutes to review the whole package. That includes your application form, your transcript, your standardized test, your essay, and plus your recommendation letter. That means if you offer too many recommendation letters, they don't even have time to review all of them. And you cannot guarantee your recommendation letters comes into the right order. That means if your school counselor writes a very strong recommendation letter for you, you cannot guarantee the letter will come arrive first at admission office. They probably receive the letter from your coach. But if your coach's letter is not as strong as counselors, that means they only have time to review the first letter or the first 3 letters. Then when your counselor's letter arrives their office, they don't even have time to look at it. So you have to be very, very careful to ask for the actual recommendation letters. Firstly, the one who wrote your recommendation letter has been the one who knows you for a long time, like a couple years. And they have to describe you from a completely different angle. Like you have to make sure what they are going to write on the letter is quite different from your teachers or your counselor's letters. Okay, about the school teacher recommendation letters, some students will think, okay, if I perform very well in one class, or if I sense the teacher likes me very much, I will ask them for a recommendation letter. That's correct, but you have to think about another thing, because some teachers are very good at teaching, but that doesn't mean they are very good at writing a letter, especially some math or science teacher. You have to talk to them, and does the teacher know some extra story about you? For example, if you take a class and it's super easy for you, and it's very easy for you to get 100 or 99 in that class, but you don't have any story in that class, there's no more way for the teacher to document in the letter. For example, if you take the AP Physics C, it's a very, very tough courses. Probably you start the courses at lower grade, but with your effort, you go into the SGI quite often, and you put extra effort on it, and the teacher knows about that, and they're going to write a very good recommendation letter for you, because they can describe you how you progress in that course. So make sure your teachers know everything, like you put extra efforts on it. And for some like history class or English class, you may think that the teacher may not remember you that well. That's very normal because our teacher need to grade, like if he teaches 4 classes, U.S. history or world history, probably they need to grade over like 100 papers, like for one assignment. So it's very hard for them to remember every single student. What they're going to do is they probably ask you, say, okay, if you really want me to write a recommendation letter for you, can you give me a sample of your writing? So you can pick the best writing works you have done in that class, and the original copy, and on the copy, probably the teacher writes some very positive comments for your assignment, for your essay, and show them. So here is my work. Here is my original work. And the teacher, when they read back to your work, they will remember you. They will remember, oh yeah, I really like your work at that time. I really put lots of very good comments on it. So they can put like this very good memory and details into their letters. Okay, the recommendation letters will show basically your strengths, your academic strengths or your non-academic strengths, your personality. Okay, as an Asian, we not only need to prove we are excellent, we have to prove that we are human beings. We are not a learning machine. We are not robotic. We are not like gain the grades just because we can going to the extra tutoring service. So your letters have shown you as a whole person. Everyone, like every single student has its own personality. So you have the letter has shown you probably you are super nice, you're quiet, or you're active. So everyone the letter has shown you are human beings. And your contribution towards your family and towards classroom discussion. Usually college likes to have the student who can make a positive contribution to the classroom discussion. They would like you to be active in the classroom. And have you ever pushed the classroom discussion positively toward one direction? Bring up like to be the first one to do the presentation, because people will not like to do the presentation. But if in a group project, you will say, okay, I would like to do the presentation. I would like to present our group project. So that will be a very, very good evidence for your letters. And your contribution to clubs, right? When you join a school clubs, the clubs may not be in good shape. How much did you do for the club? Maybe you give the teacher or instructor some suggestion. So how can we improve? How can we get more people membership into our clubs? Your teams, your jobs, especially when you work at a paid internship or the paid job, your boss can say, okay, that's wonderful, and he's a very good worker. He not only takes care of his own job, and whenever it's needed, he will jump in. And that will be very good comments for you. And your contribution to communities. You may serve doing lots of volunteer works, right? Volunteer works at different charity organizations. You help the seniors, you babysit the children, and you tutor the elementary school students. They are very good stories they can put into the letters. Your passions and efforts, like I used to emphasize that. Your passions toward academic area, for example, you really want to study computer science in the future, you're not only taking the AP computer science at school, they probably go to their robotic team or some coding like clubs at school. You may go to the hackathon. So all your efforts have been aligned towards your goal. So put them together and showed your counselor your goal is here and your efforts there. They match together. And your usage of the resource. Many colleges think they have very good resource, but they really want the student get in and take advantage of them. If they are not sure you have take advantage of the resource right now at your high school, they cannot trust you to be able to use the resource at college. So your letters can show how you used resource at school or at a community or at everywhere your family can find. So that will prove you will be able to use resource at college. A strong recommendation should be first, very complete, especially school counselors' recommendation letter. They should describe you from different angles, from teacher's point of view, from your performance at classroom, your contribution, your job, your duties at family, community, and extracurricular. This is very complete. It's a whole picture. And the good recommendation letter should be in details, should be very detailed, because if the letter just show you are hardworking without any evidence to support this statement, everyone can claim their students are hardworking. How can the counselor say, okay, this is a hardworking student, and how can they persuade AO that our students are very hardworking? So they have to present with detailed story. Details means the counselor knows you very well. Just because they know you very well, so what they comment on you are truthful, is convincing, right? If they don't know you very well, how can I trust their comments? So should be very, very detailed. The second one is if they put lots of effort and lots of detail into a letter, that means that the teacher or the counselor would like to spend the time to support you. That means they support you very strongly, right? If I don't like this student, I won't bother. I don't want to spend any minute on it. I just write a very general recommendation letter, change the name, and it will be another student's recommendation letter. We don't want that situation. So there will be a lot of work you can do to help your counselor and your teacher understand you better, so that they can put lots of details, information into the letter to support you. So if the teacher doesn't know you very well, but they have to write a letter for you because this is their job, what can they do? They probably have to repeat everything on your transcript. Oh yeah, this student is an excellent one in my class. I really enjoy him in my class. His grade is 97 in my class. His GPA is what? He got maybe 1550 on SAT. All these details are not necessary at all in recommendation letter, because AO can get it from your transcript and the report card. They know that. But if the teacher put this information into a letter, that means what? The teacher doesn't know you very well. They don't know you, but they have to do their job because they have to write a letter for you. So they know the teacher doesn't like you or doesn't know you very well. So this letter doesn't count, doesn't help you during your college application. So a good letter is a combination of efforts from where? From your counselor, from your teachers, from you, from your parents, and from all the people who knows you well. So it's a combination. Never think about college application is your job. It's not. You and your parents and your teachers are a good team starting from right now to the end of the application. You are a team. You have to work as a team. If you just try to isolate yourself, like keep everything inside of you, don't let your parents know, don't let your counselor know, they don't know how to support you, to help you. And in this process, you have to get support from them because you cannot write a recommendation letter for you. You have to get support from them. So right now, as a junior, right, I will say there are not much things you can do, not many things you can do right now to improve your college application. You cannot change your grade right now. Starting from now, you have to finish your school very well. You have to do your standardized test very well, AP test, and you probably can finish very well in your extracurricular. Get some leadership position, make more contribution to the club, and you're probably going to have some competitions, to winning some competitions. That's good if you can do that and keep on doing that. But you cannot change what you have done right now, right? You cannot change the grades in your ninth grade. or sophomore year. You cannot. And if you haven't started any extracurricular, it's too late to start it. You can try something. It's still some time to do that, but you cannot expect too much from it. So recommendation letters and your college application and essay are one of the few things you can do, you can improve right now. So it's like, please consider this job as a very serious one. You can give the help, the information, and work together with your parents, and build up a strong information resource for your letters so that your counselor can help you. Otherwise, if you don't give them information, don't tell them your story, don't let them know your family background, don't let them know the hardship in your family, they don't know how to put that in. So there are a few things, and recommendation letter is one of them. Right now, you can work, something you can work on is recommendation letter. And when the coming out in August 1st, you can start to fill out the application. There's a lot of tricks on it. I'm going to run a workshop for juniors this year, during this summer, and help them go through every step. How to build a very strong application with the limited resource, right? And the essay, college essay, and the supplemental essay, common app essay and the supplemental essay from each school. Those are the things we can work on, we can improve, we can make a difference. But other than that, the grades in the past, the courses you have taken, the AP courses you have taken, pretty much you cannot change too much about them, okay? Okay, let's talk about how your counselor collects information. One information comes from your daily contact with them. Most of students here right now, you may think, okay, I don't know too much about my counselor because I never make trouble at school. They don't talk to me and I don't talk to them. That's very normal. Like most of our counselors are super busy. They have to take care of over 250 students, and probably 1/4 of them are seniors. So they are super busy. They are pretty fully occupied by college application every year, unless you have very difficult time during the school. So from freshman to junior right now, probably you don't have too many opportunities to know them. But they do have a way to collect information from you. Talk to your parents because they start to have meetings with you, college application meetings and meetings with you and your parents. And they are going to have the parent-teacher interview in March. And your parents will have a good chance to talk to them, to give them more details about you. Starting from now, they will spend lots of time try to understand you more. So be sure to use this opportunity to help them. And one important thing is questionnaire. Each of the junior has to fill out a questionnaire. And the deadline in NAVIUM is April 1st. But don't take it very seriously because most of the students are not fully ready to complete questionnaire. But I would suggest you finish the first draft by that day. And after summer, because I believe most of you have very important time going through the summer, then you have to update the questionnaire after summer. And your parents and the guardians have to fill up the survey, and they have to fill out like up to 4 questions. So if your parents don't speak English or don't write English properly, they need your help. You have to work together with them and to finish the questionnaire. What you feel in your part of questionnaire and their survey should match together. And RAVES, okay, it's very important. RAVES, just as I told you, it's very hard to prepare, like to ask for more recommendations than they ask. Okay, what can you do? Because you have so many people who know you well, they would like to support your college application. What can they do? Ask for RAVES. The RAVES has to, in our school, the RAVES has to come from the people who don't write your recommendation letter. That means the other school teachers, they can write your RAVES. For example, you're doing very well in your Spanish class, but you have 2 other teachers would like to write your recommendation already. But how can a Spanish teacher help you So you can send an email to your Spanish teacher, say, I need a rate for my college application. This is my counselor is who. Then they're going to send a rave. Rave means like it's a short description of you, describe your contribution in the class. It will be very short, 3 to 4 sentences, but there is strong enough to help you on your college application. So all of the people who know you very well, including your teachers, coaches, music instructors, pastor, bosses, and research mentors, they can write your email to your counselor, indicate how much you have done in their community. And at the end, counselor is going to collect them because he or she will receive lots of email from your resource. Then she is going to pick out the best one, okay, merge into your recommendation letter. For example, they probably in the letter at the end, she just say, okay, maybe Jason's Spanish teacher saying he has a very rare talent on foreign language. He can pick up the foreign language in a quick way, and he used debate technology on the classroom discussion. That's pretty good already. Your counselor will include this kind of comments in your letter. Okay, right now we have to start with the detailed question. We start with the student part. The first question is about your personality and your attitude towards life, your philosophy. How would you describe yourself? Okay, you need to use 4 adjectives to describe you. So you have to think about it. What are your strengths? You may have lots of strengths, but list the top 4. List the top 4, and you just not only list 4 of them, and for each one of them, I need you give me an example, a story. For example, if I want to say I am a hardworking person, so what example can show me as a hardworking person? I work hard, so during the holiday, I still working, right? That's one example. I work during the holiday because holidays, most people will take a break, but I'm still taking care of the students or something like that. And use one example, one story, small story to show you're hardworking. If you think you're caring, how did you care? Who did you care, right? You may care your family members. You may care the senior person in your neighborhood, right? You may care at your work or family. Use the example. Your counselor needs to know every single details behind your statement. So if you believe a concept, for example, some people believe there are always a better solution to a difficult problem. You can present that. You not necessarily have to be a quote, but whatever you believe. But this will show your attitude towards the life. Some people believe hardworking will solve every problem. Well, you can say that too, but try to explain it in very detail because I don't want you to just give counselor a sentence which may cause some misunderstanding or confusion. So you have to explain why I believe, or if you can present, like give them experience, show them experience. I figure out these truths by doing what, and that will be good. Give them example. Question 2 to 3 is about time management. Okay, in the college application Common App, you need to fill up. You need to let college know how you spend your time, from freshman to senior. That means they want to know in what situation you get this GPA and the standardized test. Have you spent every single minute on study in order to get this, right? They don't want to see people use every ounce of their energy to achieve right now what they have. So you have to say, okay, in freshman, I joined the robotic team. I spent like how many hours per year on it? That's what you need to do. So for these two questions, what did you do during the weekdays and what did you do during the weekend? I really would like you to build up an activity list for yourself and present it to your counselor so they know how you spend your time. You list the activity like robotic team, starting from which year? Freshman, sophomore, and junior, okay? For each year, how many hours did you spend? And what kind of role did you take, right? You're probably starting from sophomore, you are coordinator. In junior years, you become the head of coding, right? So you have to indicate that. What kind of achievement does the team make? Our team make to the state or make to the national final. That's the achievement. And what did you do for the team? I increased the membership by double, right? That's what I need to hear. So you put this into a list. Your activity, how much time did you spend? What did you do? Achievement for the team, or you're winning what prize, right? And what kind of paper did you publish for the research? All remaining ones, put them into a list, present to your counselor. So when they write recommendation letter, they are going to list all of them, right? They are not going to miss one for you. And also you need to collect all certificates and awards, your papers, your volunteer hours proof, and your letters, whatever can show your achievement, and bring all of them to your counselor. So they know they will probably work like 200 hours at a senior house. They know that, how much time you spend. The fourth question is about extracurricular. So our school asks you to list 3 or more. I believe some of the students only have 3 or less, a fewer, or you have more than 3. That's fine. What kind of extracurricular you do, including at a school or in-school activity or out-of-school activity. And same thing, I would say list it or build out a resume. You are going to need a resume for college application. I would say about half of the college, when they ask you for application, they ask you to upload your resume. So from right now, try to build a resume and stating like your AP courses, your GPA, that's fine, and what kind of activity you do, just like what I said about the activity list. What did you do? How many hours you spend? And what kind of job what kind of position you're holding? What kind of achievement you made? So your counselor, once they have this information, they are going to put their recommendation letter. So that's what you need to do. Okay, attach your resume, provide the list with details, and collect all your award certificates and volunteer hours. Number 5, question number 5. Question number 5 is about feedback from your teacher. Okay, and how would your teacher describe you? Please give some example and details. And the parents here, I would like you to go to the school for parent-teacher interview, okay? And the one in the March is a perfect one, no matter which grade your child is. I usually go there, talk to each class teacher, and try to sense how much he or she likes my child. And I note, after talk for 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I probably have a good sense how much he likes my child and does she remember my child. So probably this teacher be a good candidate to write me a strong recommendation letter. And sometimes the student cannot tell because they only talk to the teacher during the classroom, and it's not fair for the teacher to show any special treatment to one student, even they like your child very much. They cannot show it in the classroom. They don't have chance. But during the private meeting, it's different. When you talk to them privately, they can easily show, oh yeah, your child is wonderful. I'm really happy to have him in my class. I still remember. And he he shared with our class with a wonderful presentation about one debate topic, whatever. Then you know how much he likes your child and whether he's going to write a good letter for you. So it's very important for parents to talk to the teacher during the March conference, okay? And for student, if you have an extra contact with your teacher, like SGI, and some teachers probably ask you to join, like, okay, some math teacher may like you very much. Say, okay, how about you're doing your math work so well. How about you come here and help me to help the other student? Well, he knows you better, right? He not only knows you at the classroom, and after class they know you so well. So you are going to say, okay, this math teacher have very good impression upon me, and he asked me to join him to help other students. That's one example. What type of learners are you in the classroom? It's about your learning style. And I know everyone has different learning style. Some people like to see, and whenever they see, it's easier for them to remember. For example, when they learned biology, if you read an article, read a textbook, they probably think it's too difficult to understand. But once they see a diagram or watch a video or animation, it's so easy for them to understand what's going on. Probably you are a visual one, right? Some people like to listen, going to lecture. So you have to indicate what type of learner are you. Probably you like the group discussion. Some people like if they just cannot study by their own, but once they are in a group, they enjoy the group discussion and they enjoy to be inspired by other students. Well, try to indicate what type of learner you are. If a teacher gives you a suggestion, what did you do, right? I know some students are very good at computer science, and their computer science teacher will say, okay, you should go to what kind of camp, or you should go into the math circle. You should go into what kind of summer program to enhance your ability. Oh, you are so good at the math problem. Why didn't you join the math research program? Well, what kind of advices did your teacher give you, and what did you do, right? You just ignore them? You talk there, and I'm doing whatever I would like to do. Or you just accept the suggestion, say, hey, my teacher think I should go to Hexagon, so I should look at some information about Hexagon. I should go there and take a look. Maybe some teacher suggest me to join the business plan competition. I should join them. Or some teacher counselor suggests me to go into the, I'm a girl, I would like to do the engineering, and my counselor suggests me to go look for some engineering program or STEM program only for girls. That's fine. I'm following their instruction. That will show you take the advice from your teacher and move forward for your personal plan.